Hey guys, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been a minute since we last spoke. I feel like it's been a minute since I posted a video. I hope my previous videos has been helping you guys, you know, throughout your daily walk, throughout your daily journey, and also creating just new mind frames and frameworks, new portals in your head about how you handle situations and how you go about life. Today's video is a video based on something that I've always focused on in my life, but at this time currently um, I'm focusing on it a lot more, and the focus has changed, right? So let's just say previously in my life I was focusing on red. Now I'm focusing on blue, you know? So, and it's called staying at your home frequency. This is something that a community that I'm in, the community guide or leader, she speaks on home frequency. So it's a term that I've been able to learn and then coin for my own self. The importance of staying at your home frequency. Now, disclaimer, the home frequency is your true nature. So it's like step one, how do you get to your home frequency? In spirituality, right? And I'm going to say when I say in spirituality, I mean like the community online. Because life is spiritual, right? So the spiritual community online, there's a lot of emphasis on leave the mind, forget the mind, notions like that, which is true to a certain extent. And it's like during this age of Aquarius, as words, verbiage, communication is all over. Communication is the number one form of trickery. It's like the game of telephone. You tell somebody apple, and at the end of the line, it's coming out lasagna. It's like, how did it get from apple to lasagna? But it's funny because they're both red, right? So it's like, okay, lasagna is red and apple is red. I get it. But how did it transform from apple to lasagna? Like, so it's important to take what you hear and really delve into what it means for you. Because when you tap into what it means for you, that's when you're able to learn yourself. Um, what do things mean to you? So when it comes to reaching your home frequency, it's about stripping away what is not you. We have learned so much in our life about how we should be, or what normalcy means, what it means to be a girl, what it means to be a boy, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man. A man acts this way and only this way. A woman acts this way and only that way. And if she dares step her pinky toe outside of that box we put her in, I don't know if she's feminine anymore. I don't know if she's feminine. I don't know if she's nurturing. I don't know if she's sensitive, right? So frameworks, and the community that I'm in really speaks heavily on frameworks. I've noticed that I've always been my own framework. And I've always had issues connecting in with people on an intimate level, right? Like, put me in a room. Yeah, I can have a conversation with anybody. Right? So once I noticed that about myself, I said, but why do I still feel like I'm coming up like empty, right? From my relationships. And I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't met the people that truly know what intimacy means. And it's funny because on the surface, and this is the issue with society, it's the illusion. On the surface, something looks like what you think it is, but it's not. I'm gonna get real deep here, and I am not here to offend anybody. I'm here to keep it real, keep it a buck. Let's talk about women, right? Let's talk about women, and let's talk about lighter skinned women versus brown, darker brown skinned women. There is an illusion that lighter skinned women are more sensitive, are more feminine, more nurturing, and more caring, right? There is this illusion, and we're not even gonna get into the emotions and the actions of it, because that's when you get into slavery and the fact that lighter skinned women were the women in the homes that really couldn't have a say. The darker skinned women were out on the field outside, so they were able to be a bit more wild and free. The lighter skinned women were right there with the white folk. So we're not even so on an action-based thing, we can get into that, but we're not even gonna get into that. We're literally gonna get into the illusion of the ajna, the illusion of the third eye chakra. Yeah. The illusion of the eyes, of what you're seeing. So when you see someone that is lighter in skin, right? And I brought up light-skinned women in a term of, anyone that has light skin, right? Lighter color skin, even white skin, right? Light skin. There's an illusion that the color, we get into the color of light being closer to the color white. There's an illusion that you're cleaner than, that you're softer than, right? Because what? The color white, we use white when we're thinking of cleaning. If we're cleaning something, we're gonna use white. White, you know what I'm saying? When we look at light, okay, light. Light cleans a room, as in you turn on the light, you can see everything in the room. So if you get where I'm coming from when it comes to just the symbology of color and the symbology of what white has been pinned to, right? Because anything could have been anything, right? But through mind control and all this, anything could have been anything. Because one thing I'm learning is that and one thing that we'll come to see and know is that just because it's in the light or lighter does not mean it's better, it's safer, it's more nourishing. There's a series on Netflix called African Folktales. And if you're into that type of stuff, I recommend y'all watch it. And there's one 20-minute folktale of a lady who encounters a jinn spirit that haunted her in her past. And in the beginning, it talks about how these types of jinn, they work in the light because that's when people are the most busy, the most distracted. And I was just like, wow. So we have this evil jinn spirit working during the day because that's when we're all doing our thing, doing what we want to do, distracted. And I was like, look at that, right? So we're going to reel this all back in. The frameworks that we've been given to look at life is literally outdated. It's literally outdated, right? And as more people step into their shadow, right? As more people step into their shadow and they meet their shadow and they introduce themselves to their shadow and then they heal it and integrate it, we're gonna see how what deems something as XYZ no longer stands. So let's bring it back, right? So what deems, this lady has lighter skin. In the past, it was connected to, and honestly, it still is now. It still is now, but I feel like heavily in the past. It's getting better. But lighter skin is deemed with more feminine, softer, more sensitive, we're gonna see that we're gonna see that glitch in the illusion. The glitch in the illusion. And the glitch in the illusion is seen by moving into that shadow, right? And really seeing what's there. Because one thing about the shadow is that it's quiet, right? One thing about the shadow is that it's quiet. And you want to know how comfortable you feel around somebody? Sit right next to them and don't say a word. Just be quiet. Not out of malice, not out of competition, not out of fear. Are you able to sit next to someone and still feel comfortable? Truly comfortable, healthy comfortable, because of course there's going to be tension, right? If you're extremely sensitive, there's going to be tension to there's always tension with some I'm myself, this other person is their complete own self. When we come together, there's going to be a little bit of tension of just vibes, and that's only because I'm my unique self and they're their unique self. But if you are just right, and that's a test that I started to do. As I started to become a lot more sensitive, I started to feel more comfortable being in the shadow, more comfortable just being in quiet, right? Being in quiet and just doing that. And I noticed that once I started doing that, once I received my new home frequency of being a little bit more in the quiet stillness in the company of others, a lot of relationships started to fall apart. So being in your home frequency is having the courage to break the illusion. Being in your home frequency is having the courage to see the glitch in the illusion, to meet it, to say hi, hello, right? It's like saying hello to it. And not we're not even talking about, listen, you can take your time. You don't even have to welcome it in yet, right? It's steps, right? Think of your home. Somebody comes to your home, they ring the doorbell. I'm telling you, the shadow self is always ringing the doorbell. It's always ringing the doorbell. It's always there. The thing is, can you hear it? Are you too busy where you can't even hear the doorbell ringing? Do you hear it and you're trying to distract yourself from it? Oh, was that the doorbell? Was that the doorbell, or was that a bird? I could have wait, was that my chime outside? Was that the doorbell? Or are you walking to the doorbell, opening the door and saying, hi? First step is the hi. What do you do next? Are you letting it in? Did you close the door and walk back inside? Are you still at the door and just looking at it? Are you letting it in? Right? There's so many steps to literally thinking of yourself, your temple as your home frequency, and comparing it to a home. That's literally what you do when someone knocks on your door. You open the door, you let them in, or you open the door, you don't let them in, or you open the door and you're just talking to them at the door, and right? So the beauty in just being able to say hi, I see it, and being comfortable and being yo, you know what? I see this. So yeah, guys, that's just really it for this video, right? It's think for yourself. And I know it's hard, right? Because we have this, if you're extremely sensitive, And you have this and then we have like the group consciousness, and I've been like understanding more about the group consciousness. Like, yo, like you can be, especially if you're clairaudient, right? Like, man, like the group consciousness really can take a toll on you. And what it means, like what group consciousness means is that, what I think it means, and what I think it means at this moment, is that if you have a similarity with something, you can receive thoughts and feelings that aren't really how you feel about it, or just because you have that similarity, you can just receive information, right? Everything is energy. Everything has an energetic signature. Everything can be tapped into. Everything is communicating in its own way. If you look at a chair, what does a chair communicate to you? When a chair communicates, sit down. That's how you know you're gonna sit down. You see a chair communicates, sit down, rest, like, sit down. So you sit down. Like, let's really talk about it. Everything has a communication to it. I know my analogies can be so crazy, but I'm gonna leave this right here for you guys, right? So the beauty and the importance of just saying hello to things, acknowledging things, right? Saying what's up. I was saying what's up to things, and really getting to know who you are. It's an everyday thing because it's always shifting, transforming, and changing. But the beauty, but like I would say the importance of it is knowing that you get closer to who you are every day. That's just the importance. It's a lifelong thing. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.